Hey everyone, Joe Waxman here, the astrologer, formerly known as Mediocre. And he's okay. All right, what's up, guys? In this video, I want to talk about Taylor Swift. Why? I don't know. I do know because she came up in the news recently. There's been a change, right? She was like everyone's little hero, darling, Swifties and all that. People love her. Um, but the woke mob has decided to attack Taylor Swift. I don't know if they outright canceled her, but definitely um, the hypersensitive Piscean vibe thing that's going on with Mars and Saturn. The hypersensitivity plus the aggression is really something else right now. Plus the delusion and fantasy, right? It's very interesting to watch. But yeah, they're attacking Taylor Swift because of some of her lyrics. So I wanted to look at that in her chart and see what might account for that. Because it'll definitely show up somewhere in astrology, right? Anyway, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Book a reading with me, macrogoldmachine@yahoo.com. And let me share my screen. I want to share with you what is going on there. All right, Taylor Swift is facing an insane amount of woke outrage over lyrics about living in the 1830s. You're a loser if you're okay. Well, that's all right. So let's look at the article. All right. She's facing backlash from the woke mob for the dumbest reason possible. The most famous entertainer on the planet released her new album, The Tortured Poets Department, for fans Friday. The 31-track album has been dominating social media ever since the moment the first half of the album dropped. The second half dropped a couple hours later, and it's been off to the races since. A lot of people love the album. I do not. I think it's some of her weakest work. However, the problem she now faces woke outrage. Okay. It's her Taylor Swift's new album is garbage. She starts dating Travis Kelce and immediately loses her edge. She dropped 31 songs and not one is a hit. Oh my gosh, not one is a hit. Well, you know what? Even the best artists don't make hit songs all the time. It's not that easy. But anyway, not that I'm a fan of Taylor Swift. I don't like her music, but um okay. So people are not happy. But so here's the lyrics that got her in trouble. The woke are upset because some very simple lyrics on the song. I hate it here. So here are the lyrics. My friends used to play a game where we would pick a decade. We wished we could live in instead of this. I'd say the 1830s, but without all the racists and getting married off for the highest bid. Interesting. That's what set off the woke mob because I'll tell you what, they one of the agendas of the woke mob, and it's not coming from them. These are useful idiots, they're puppets. It's being programmed from the behind the scenes, the real, culture makers, the agenda makers, the Illuminati and stuff like that. They're trying what they do is they demonize the past. So it's anything's like nowadays it's like with the woke mob, if you talk about the past, it's like, oh, the past was bad. All the past was, well, it's ridiculous, right? The past can't all be bad. The past was good and bad. Like it was, we made mistakes, we're growing, we're evolving, but it's not like anything's really like we're doing everything so much better. Yeah, like, all the people who are like, racism in the past, it was racist. These are racist people themselves. They're too stupid to realize it, but they are racist. The anti-racists are, in fact, racist. These are racist people. They're just turning it around. So now they're racist against white people, right? It's cool to be racist against white people because that's okay now, right? But it's still racist or Jews. Like now on campus, like, oh no, well they say Zionists, but they really mean Jews because they're anyway. That's another story. But okay. So those lyrics that have the woke mob up in arms. I'd say 1830s without all the race, right? That's it. Okay. Ridiculous, right? But also this I hate it here is her. I mean, talk about making yourself a victim. Like just being like, that's what you want to put out to the world. I hate it here. That's so like, the low end of Pisces, right? The victimhood, the poor me, poor me, right? Not healthy, not mentally healthy, not an evolved expression of Piscean energy, right? But she's getting attacked. Uh, we would pick a decade we wish we could live in instead of I say 1830s, but without all the racists, y'all, I don't know what that means. Wanting to be born in 1830s crazy. Not really. I mean, the world's crazy right now. Swifties think 1830 with no racism, speaking up about racism, we're doomed. Okay, she had to make sure y'all don't set her up as racist for wanting to live in 1830. Let's be real, 1830s, she would be the racist. I mean, these people are still racist. They're still racist, right? They're not, you don't just stop being racist just because it's you switch the race who you're against, right? That's ridiculous. She referred to slavery in 1830s as racism. This is worse than I thought. She truly lost the plot. Okay. It's just more like stupidity. It's dumb. Like these people are dumb. They're dumb. Because we have to demonize the past. That's this part of the woke mentality, the woke religion, the woke cult. Everything in the past is bad. It's just dumb. Like 1830. Oh, you can't say 1830, that's bad. You're a racist if you say 1830 was good. Because everything in the past is bad and racist. Uh, Idiots. I mean, these are the dumbest people on the planet. Really, like, there's nothing good about these people. Um, okay, I'm being dramatic, but their stance about that is really, really just fucking juvenile shit. All right, here's Taylor Swift's chart. So what's happening? Let's pull up her. All right, I have her secondary progressions loaded up, and um, one really obvious thing is that Venus has just it's been retrograding since she was like 15 or whatever. That's fine. That's actually probably to her benefit because it makes her more of a unique original songwriter. Right? Venus rules all the beautiful things, including music, right? Venus is also ruling her moon, disposing her moon, her 11th house, and her 7th house. So it's a very social planet for her, right? Her friends, networks, and her personal one-on-one relationships. Also the crowd and the masses, right? It just retrograded. Look, literally, I'm gonna go back so you can see when this happened. Okay, here it is. Boom. April 3rd, 2024. We're at April 20th. Just fucking happened. Venus moved into retrograded, her secondary progressed Venus retrograded into Capricorn. Well, Capricorn is not great, not terrible for Venus, but what's really not great is that now it's coming close to her secondary progressed sun, and so it's not no longer being divided by the signs. It's in the same sign as the sun within about 4 degrees, a little less than 4 degrees, 3 degrees and some arc minutes, and it's combust. Venus is totally combust, and that's her 7th or 11th and 7th houses, and it is dispositing her moon as well. Or no, I'm sorry, the secondary progressed moon, not her moon, right? Yeah. There is also this in conjunct with her natal moon, right? Now it's actually opposite signs, so it's probably worse, right? But the degrees are more of an in conjunct, so it's not good, right? That's not really great. Um, what else? Um, secondary progressed Mars is conjuncting her sun. Uh, her natal sun. That's her ascendant lord. Um, it's not exact yet. I wonder, I wonder though how that's going to impact her. It's a night chart, so Mars is not the out of sect malefic. But is there ascendant lords conjunct the sun? I don't know. There could be some tension there, too. But I think mostly this is the Venus. But there's some other factors going on here as well. Uh, let's see what else. I think this is it for the secondary progressions, but let's look at the solar arc because I think there's some stuff there. All right. All right. First thing is that Pluto is down to the arc minute conjunct her natal sun in the directed solar arc. All right. Pluto is going to transform her personality, her public image, right? Her relationship with the public. And this is the solar arc. The Pluto is not going to move very. It's going to move the same. You guys know that, right? Like it moves the same as the sun with the solar arc. So look, we go back a few days. It's already not exact. It's exact now, like exact now to the arc minute right now. This is like pretty impressive to catch this right now. What else? Um, this Neptune, is squaring her natal Pluto, so that indicates also like a transformation. Neptune is going to have to do with her glamorous image, right? It's all about Neptune is all about the fantasy, the glamour, the glitz, right? For somebody like Taylor Swift. Now, if it's squaring Pluto and it's almost perfect, right? In what, a couple weeks, I guess it'll perfect. Pluto's going to transform it. Pluto's in the superior square. It's going to transform her image, her glamour. You know, she might lose some appeal with her audience. So yeah. But also Pluto conjunct the sun. That's going to be pretty interesting as well, right? Definitely some issues there. Transforming. So the sun is their ninth lord, but really it's about like transforming her image and her relationship to the public. Some sort of crisis with having to do with her fame, her worldliness. Right? Perhaps it'll change her philosophy as well, because it is the ninth lord, her belief system. It's actually the 10th whole sign house lord. So it's also going to change her public image, her career, right? How the public views her. So there's some issues here with Taylor Swift. We can also look to the yearly perfections. It's a Virgo, Mercury year. So 11th, it's actually 11th whole sign house. We go back, 11th whole sign house, but her MC. So her MC is in the 11th. So her 10th and 11th are mixing up. So like Swifties, right? Her fan base is extremely important to her. That's one of the things that really works for her. That makes her extreme. Like her people love her, right? Her fan base loves her. Mercury, natally, is exactly trine her MC, and that's huge because that's dignifying her career tremendously. So we look at the solar return. Current solar return. And Mercury is exact on the natal position within 10 arc minutes, but it's stationary. So that is really powerful, in fact, because dignifying the MC in the solar return. So her career should be fine. But what else can we see? Well, Moon just entered Capricorn in the solar return. And it's actually opposite her natal moon. And that's not good, right? Because Moon in Capricorn is in detriment. It's opposite its domicile. And it's at 0 degrees. So it's just beginning to have like it's full of potential, but negative potential, right? Just like the full bag of negativity that would come through in the moon in Capricorn. Like not enough time to sort of clean out the karma, all the negativity from this position. So this moon, which is her sect light, it's a night chart. Moon is the sect light, especially because she's a woman. So moon is going to be, it's not a good year for her. Like she's not gonna be able. Normally, one of the things that she's really good at is this moon Jupiter in Cancer conjunction, which means the expansion of the heart, really conveying her emotionality, putting her emotions into her music. This year, even though her career is strong, her public image, the Mercury stationary trining the MC, her moon is in Capricorn, so she's not going to be able to express herself well this year. And so she's writing music since December. I don't know when she wrote this album, but since December, it's been a while, right? Long enough. That moon would not help her, right? It just wouldn't be, there wouldn't be enough emotionality. It would be the opposite of what she normally does, right? Um, Pluto is also in Capricorn, so that's going to bring some deep kind of turmoil or crisis, transformation, as far as um her everything, it's influencing her second house. Now Pluto actually now is in her third, which is also a social house and relating to 11th and 7th. And so that could have something to do with it, right? Her fans turning against her. But we can also look at the solar return on its own, and we see Saturn here. Saturn right on the ascendant, restricting her as a person, her as an individual. Pisces would relate to a lot to creativity, especially with Neptune here, but this is more about like restriction or maturity within her own field of music, her own creativity. So in other words, if she's not meeting Saturn's expectations, which she's very Saturnian, so it seems like she could, but there could still be limitation. Plus, there's some aspects here that are not so good. Saturn is semi-square Chiron, in a sign that Saturn does not do well in, Aries, opposite its exaltation, so debilitation. So Saturn is not favorable towards this Chiron in her second house, which is her singing, her voice, what everyone's used to. So that is gonna cause issues. It's gonna make her weird, but not in a good way. It's gonna probably cause people to reject her, and yeah, it's gonna cause because of the rejection, because of the weirdness, the rejection, and probably hurt her reputation, hurt her image, hurt her self-esteem, second house issues, right? Uh, what else? Yeah, the Saturn is sextile the moon. The Saturn actually is going to help the moon out a little bit because it's domicile lord of Capricorn, but you know, it's only a minor remedy because I don't know, minor. It's a remedy and it's pretty tight, but still moon in Capricorn. Uh this Mars is tightly conjunct the MC on the solar return. So, and that is her ascendant lord, natally. So that seems quite good, quite prominent. So she's gonna definitely try and make things work. Pluto also we can see has a semi-square with Mars and the MC. So Pluto transforming. So I think this year could be a year where her career shifts because Mars is going to put a lot of energy into the career, right? But then Pluto is aspecting it in a difficult aspect. So that's going to force her to change because Pluto. So yeah, shifts in her career and her public image, sure. Um, Venus is in Scorpio. In Venus is bounds, ninth lord. That's not great. That's ruling her social houses. So some difficulty there. Um, hmm. I mean, if we're just looking at this chart, it's a day chart. Ascendant. So if the Lord of the Ascendant, Jupiter is retrograde, and it's also the MC Lord. So that also is an indication that things can turn, that they're not going to progress that well this year, or at least that. Yeah, I mean retrogrades have that pulling back quality, even though they could sort of through, effort, and time, they can produce great results. Probably in a solar return year, it's more of an indication of things not progressing the way that ideally she would like. Uh, let's look at so if we go to the next year, we just see like, okay, what might it be like next year? All right, this is compared to her natal chart. So I was trying to look at both. Um, and it would be an 11th house Venus year. And so Venus is um in Aquarius, pretty close to the natal Venus. So that's good. Um, so Mars is her ascendant lord. Mars is retrograde in the ninth. Mercury is in Sag retrograde in the first. Pluto will be in Aquarius, and that's going to be conjunct her Venus, her natal Venus, and pretty close to her solar return Venus. So another transformational year because this is the Lord of the year. Pluto is going to transform it. It's also in a new house for her, the third house, so her siblings, communication. It's out of the second house, so not so much about appearances. And well, I mean, technically, this um, Capricorn would be the third whole sign house, so there's that. So this would be a third, fourth. Yeah, homeland, home house, family, youth, but also third, siblings, neighborhood. Um, but it's a social house as well. Aquarius, social sign. Um, it's definitely going to be a change for her, because it's pulling in more fourth house energy, right? And so that has to do with home, roots, parents, and fourth house is also a bit more secretive. Um, and it could be so next year could be a downturn for her. With the retrogrades, what's Mercury doing? Yeah, Mercury's retrograde, her ascendant lord's retrograde, right? So her two angular lords are retrograde. Mars is in the ninth, 12th from the 10th. Actually 10th whole sign house. But this could have to do with she could travel, right? Especially because of the retrogrades, Mars in the ninth. Um, it might be a bit of a downtime for her. Any difficult aspects? No, I think I already checked. There's not really. Um, her moon is square her natal nodes, but it's in Taurus. It's in the sixth house. Well, seventh whole sign. Um, well, could be interesting anyway. Let's see what it is on its own. So it's Cancer, Moon. Moon's the ascendant lord. It's in good dignity. In Taurus, exalted in the 11th. So that might be good for her, in a sense. It is conjunct a retrograde Uranus. So it's perhaps some overall good, but maybe some extreme shocks there with friends, networks, groups. Moon seems to be in difficult aspect to the nodes. So there could still be trouble. There could still be issues um, with her fan base, which is so important to her. Right. The MC will be in the ninth quadrant, or ninth whole sign house. So travel, like I said, could become more of an issue. Home travel, getting away, vacationing, downtime. Venus, which was the Lord of the Year, is in the eighth with Pluto, right? So another a secretive house. It's opposite Mars. That's going to be a bit difficult. Venus opposite Mars. Um, although Mars is not the worst planet for her. Saturn's the most difficult planner planet for her, and it is pretty prominent in the 10th quadrant, ninth whole sign house, 10th quadrant. But it's not, well, it's making uh square to Jupiter, but Jupiter rules Pisces, it's in Jupiter's bounds. But Jupiter's not very strong in Gemini, so minor remedy there. But the crowd could be pretty cold to her. But Jupiter and Pisces is pretty good, so it's probably mixed. So you got her Sun and Mercury in the sixth. I guess it's a mixed year. I'm not gonna dwell too long on this. I've seen a lot of mixed signals here. But anyway, you definitely look at the few things that really add up, like the Mercury, Venus, secondary progressed Venus moving into Capricorn just now, and then the solar arc Pluto directly on her sun right now, and the few other things that I mentioned would contribute to a difficult transition for her. Also, Pluto moving into Aquarius, it's going to dip back into Capricorn, but that's going to be a shift. It's a shift for everyone, right? But it's also going to be a shift for her. It's fourth whole sign, third quadrant, right? So perhaps a bit more homey than usual. Things of that relating to home are going to become more prominent. She might move Pluto, right? Move neighborhoods as well. Third house, fourth house, right? That could be something. Also, her north node is in the Aquarius, third, fourth whole sign house, third quadrant, fourth whole sign house. So as she gets older, that's going to become more of a theme for her. Being at home, wanting to be at home, wanting to hide out. I don't think her being like extremely popular is going to be a lifelong thing. I think it's a first half of life thing. After that, because South Node, Leo, 10th whole sign house. After that, it's going to become more quiet. Um, and perhaps political, because Aquarius and fourth whole sign house, right, has to do with politics or social. So she might become more socially active. Anyway, guys, I just thought it was interesting, so I thought I'd share my observations about Taylor Swift's chart, and what might be contributing to that in her astrology. So that's it, guys. Hit the like button if you can, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Book a reading with me, macrogoldmachine@yahoo.com. So yeah, Joe Waxman, the astrologer, formerly known as Mediocre. Yeah, he's okay. All right, guys, laugh it off, take a victory laugh, win before you win, all that good stuff. I'll see you again soon. Bye.